Between June 12th and 14th, 2026, three seemingly disconnected events hit the tech industry in a single 72-hour window, marking a shift in how power is exercised in the digital age. First, the Department of Commerce invoked emergency powers to force the immediate shutdown of Anthropic's newest AI models, shuttering access for users and employees worldwide. Second, SpaceX launched the largest IPO in history, and in its public filings revealed a massive Bitcoin treasury it had been quietly accumulating for years. And finally, internal reports emerged that Microsoft's board was evaluating the future of the Xbox division, including a potential spin-off or total exit from the console market. These stories are colliding because the scale of digital disruption has reached a critical mass. We are no longer just looking at software updates. We are looking at technologies that interface directly with national security and the global financial order. We are witnessing a moment where legacy institutions, governments, banks, and megacorporations are deciding whether to bring these decentralized forces into their own systems or move to eliminate them entirely. When SpaceX opened for trading at a $2 trillion valuation, it acted as a liquidity vacuum. Large-scale investors rapidly shifted capital out of digital asset markets and into the aerospace giant's traditional equity. This chart shows the immediate impact. As institutional money rotated toward the SpaceX offering, Bitcoin's price dropped over 50%. For a company building infrastructure for the next century, holding a non-sovereign asset acts as a hedge against the long-term inflation of the dollar. This shift reflects a broader trend among tech megacaps. Following the lead of advocates like Michael Saylor, the Magnificent Eight companies are increasingly treating Bitcoin as a mandatory treasury asset rather than an experimental curiosity. Following the SpaceX disclosure, Standard Chartered Bank declared the market cycle had bottomed, projecting that institutional inflows would drive Bitcoin to $100,000 by the end of 2026. This is the co-op tactic. When a decentralized asset becomes too large for the financial system to ignore, the establishment stops fighting it and starts integrating it into the global balance sheet. While financial systems are being integrated, other technologies are being met with direct suppression. Governments react differently when they face a disruptive force they cannot easily own. Just 3 days after Anthropic launched its Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5 models, the Department of Commerce used emergency export controls to shut them down. The order applied not just to foreign adversaries, but to every user and employee worldwide. The official justification focused on dual-use risks, the idea that these models could provide instructions for synthesizing biological agents or generating code to exploit critical infrastructure. However, these capabilities are not unique to Anthropic. Similar frontier models from OpenAI and Google remain fully operational and accessible, despite possessing comparable reasoning and coding strengths. This selective enforcement is the crush tactic. By utilizing national security authorities to target independent labs while leaving the largest industry partners untouched, the government effectively dictates which AI models are allowed to exist. This pressure is forcing a reorganization of the entire tech stack. Microsoft is currently weighing a spin-off of Xbox because the gaming division earns a 3% profit margin, a figure that clashes with the 40% margins of its cloud and AI services. As companies pivot toward these high-margin services, the underlying security of existing systems is faltering. Splunk recently disclosed a critical flaw in its enterprise software, allowing unauthenticated attackers to take total control of the security systems meant to protect global banks and government agencies. We are entering a period where digital tools are being sorted into two distinct categories: those that the establishment can control and monetize, and those deemed too dangerous to remain in public hands. This categorization is already creating a geopolitical shift. As Western AI becomes more restricted and regulated, global developers are increasingly moving their work toward unrestricted Chinese alternatives, potentially moving the center of AI innovation away from the US. In a world where a single regulatory order can disable your entire infrastructure overnight, the only path to resilience is through diversification and a commitment to self-hosted, open-source alternatives. The institutional squeeze has begun, and only those with a decentralized backup plan will survive it.